It's the largest traveling African diasporic art show in the country. The Harlem Fine Art Show returns this week to New York City. Inspired by the Harlem Renaissance, it embraces the past but is very much about celebrating the present and looking to the future. Joining us this afternoon is Dion, founder of the Harlem Fine Art Show, artist Michael Escoffery, and Dr. Wendy Wilcox. She is one of the honorees at this week's event. Thank you for being here this afternoon. We're going to start with you, Dion. Nice to see you again.
It's always a pleasure coming.
So when you started this 8 years ago, do you realize that it would get bigger and better every year?
Well, it surprised me. We started out with 500 people coming to a small room and creating Harlem Fine Art Show, and now we're at 15,000 people that come through our doors at the Riverside Church every year in New York City itself, and it's phenomenal because it seems like the community and the tri-state area has really embraced us.
And why is a show like this so important, do you think, to the community?
Well, it touches everybody in one way or another. It kind of steals your heart, it kind of empowers your soul, and it really kind of touches every individual that comes through our doors. We're working with not only great artists that we're helping empower, we're giving back to our communities in regards to, one, being able to do Youth Empowerment Day and those type of opportunities, and salute some great individuals like we have on this panel in terms of a salute to African Americans in medicine. So we touch a little bit of everything, but in a very positive type of manner.
And you must be doing it right, because like we said, you're getting bigger and better, right? And what, 6 cities now?
Well, we're in 6 different cities, traveling from as far as, again, New Orleans and Houston, Texas, as well as Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, and Washington, D.C. We just go everywhere, and we're looking to go further because I think we spread some great cultural nutrition, and that cultural nutrition is really kind of empowering everybody that comes to the show.
And speaking of those great artists, Mr. Escoffery, you are one of the artists that will be exhibiting in the show, and the art is for sale too, not just for looking at.
Oh yeah.
Talk to me about, first, before we talk specifically about the kind of art we can expect from you this year, why is a show like this important, particularly for artists of color?
I think because there isn't a lot of venue or outlets similar to this, or it's probably the only one of major importance. And then artists of color, we tend to work almost in a vacuum without having the proper outlets for our work. So we have artists coming from all over the country. As a matter of fact, we have artists from Barbados. Last year we had Barbados, 80 Bahamas. So we have, in fact, it should be called an international show because artists visit from all over. And it offers us not just a venue to display our work, but what's important to us a lot of times is the interaction between the collector and the work. Because a lot of galleries, people buy your work, but you never meet the people who take it home, and you don't know what homes your work are going in. So it's a wonderful experience for us, and we do enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think it gives you, if you're buying art, a connection to the work as well.
That's very important to know where your work is going, if it's going to a good home. I like to tell people that, you know, I need to interview you to see if you're worthy of taking this piece home, because they're giving up a part of you.
So if I'm worthy of giving you my money?
I don't know. I got to interview you to see if you're worthy of having a scarf for you. But we like to know where our work is being placed.
And you mentioned, Dion, one of the important things that you do is that you're not just about, you know, introducing the art to the people. When the show comes in town, it's really sort of a full-service operation. You get involved with that community. To that end, you know, this year the theme is the health and healing power of art. And one of the things you're doing is you're celebrating African Americans in the medical field. Dr. Wilcox, you are one of those physicians being honored. You know, what does it mean to you to be a part of what is becoming a tradition and having what you do for the community recognized and honored?
Thank you. It actually means a great deal to me. I'm so honored to be receiving an award from this organization that clearly does so much and gives back to the community. It does tie into what we do at Kings County Hospital and actually throughout my career in medicine. You know, this morning my team of doctors and nurses at Kings County delivered triplets. The babies were born healthy, and it's so nice to just be able to, with the mentoring in medicine, give back to the students in the community as well. It's really important for African American students to realize that they really can be physicians, nurses, or anything in healthcare, and to really give them the full breadth and depth of what's available to them.
Yeah, and having that the exposure, when you think about the connection, I guess if you're going to treat somebody, you want to treat the whole person, and in a way, that's what your show is attempting to do, and has been, getting even more and more successful at doing. That you bring people in a community, and you sort of touch various assets and aspects of that community. It's a full-service show in a sense.
I think you hit it on the head, and we have celebrated celebrities and entertainers and athletes, but we needed to celebrate our real heroes, and that's the doctors, because they do so much for us in terms of us keeping us healthy and providing for us on an ongoing basis.
And it's done a lot of times in the background.
Yes.
Really. And I want to ask you, Michael, about some of the work. You said some of the pieces that you are going to be exhibiting this year. There was a political theme to them.
Yeah, I started, I went to the Women's March in D.C., and I was touched by hundreds of thousands of women marching peacefully, making a statement. I got back home, and these images stayed with me. So I started a series of painting called The Resistance Will Be Televised. Oh. And it's about people standing up against or standing up for what they think is right. And these paintings will be showed for the first time at the Harlem Fine Arts Show.
So many things to look forward to. And before they're telling me I need to wrap it up, so I want to tell folks the show starts Thursday and runs through Sunday. That's Thursday, February 16th.
That's correct.
Runs through Sunday, the 19th.
Yes.
And look, there's a little bit of something for everybody. Now, is there a website folks can go to? It's hfas.org.
That's correct.
And find out specifically, some of the artists who are exhibiting, the evenings where folks are being recognized. You've got the mentoring program, the youth empowerment, you're honoring nurses one day. There's a whole host of things going on.
It should be a wonderful experience, and it's also a great experience going to the historic Riverside Church, one of the most beautiful landmarks.
Oh, that's important. It's
in
at
the country.
Riverside Church.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much.
That should be just fantastic. And one last thing, on Sunday, we're saluting the Lincoln and the Harlem nurses. And it was so hard to get in the nursing profession back in the day, just being a person of color. And it's just great to lift these young ladies up. And I say young ladies in heart and spirit, because when I got the opportunity to talk to them, they really kind of bring it home. And my mother was one of those nurses in the 50s.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you all for being with us this afternoon, and I'll see you at the art show.
My pleasure.
We'll be right back.